I thought there was a ghost in my room. One of those ghosts from Sunken Temple that can one-shot you, by the way. However, lock it in. Say hello to the boy right here. Much love to you. I hope everyone's having a good day. We have a lot of PTR notes to go over. A lot of discussion to discuss. We're going to actually read all the notes. We're going to go over every single class change and, have a discussion with you guys. So much love to you. Lock it in. And let's get this video started. However, before the video begins, check out the link below. Rested XP, your guide through all of Azeroth and conquesting your journeys across all the realms. Much love to you. Supports the boy, supports the channel. And as always, just like the video, subscribe. That's all Palpatello asks for. However, before the video begins, you know the deal. Let's put this man into a choke slam. Don't worry, he's alive. He might have like 9 surgeries, a possible broken leg, maybe a sprain on the X7 vertebrae near the C7 discal cord. I just made that word up, editor. Listen, you will get shot for less. You know the deal. Right there. You see it. I know you see it. Shine them shoes. Don't make me say it again, sir. However, much love to you. Anywho, guys. So, Season of Discovery, Phase 4. Can't even breathe right now. Let me get it in. Hold on 1 second. I felt a clog in aisle 8. Oh, yes. The Retribution Wells seem great indeed. Season Discovery, Phase 4, PTR, Development Notes, Blackrock Eruption, Class Changes, General PTR Adjustments. So, seems like a lot of things are going on right now. I saw the post on Twitter from Agrin. Much love to you, amigo, if you watch the videos. But basically, let's go over everything within the latest patch of the PTR. So, as of June 21st, testing focus, we made a number of adjustments to classes since our previous release, and we are continuing to review feedback. We encourage you to test new changes and continue to provide commentary in this form. We greatly appreciate all the feedback we've received so far. This week, we've also significantly buffed Testwork's health, and damage to allow the fight to last around twice as long. To put a bit more pressure on healers and tanks for better test data, please give them a try. Lastly, we're also enabling the Blackrock Eruption event on the PTR, to allow players to test out as well. You can find more information about the Blackrock Eruption below. Please note that this content is still a work in progress. So, guys, let's talk about the Blackrock Eruption. Occurring every 2 hours starting at midnight, the Blackrock Eruption event will occur. While the event is active, additional spawns and environmental hazards will occur in Searing Gorge. This will be expanded to the Burning Steppes as well as in the later update, and players will gain access to new daily quests at the Thorium Point. Players will also receive a large bonus to honor gained while inside of Blackrock Mountain. Conversely, players will gain no honor from World PvP while in Searing Gorge or in the Burning Steppes while the event is active. Developer note: the intention of this event is optional activity for players to do each day to basically earn additional Thorium Brotherhood and Hydraxian Warlord reputation should they choose to do so, as well as create a flashpoint for World PvP focused on the interior of Blackrock Mountain. We've listened to a lot of player feedback around World PvP in these type of events, and while PvP can and should occur on a PvP server, we're going to heavily incentivize you to move your conflicts inside the mountain itself while the event is active with a sizable honor buff inside the mountain. Ultimately, this content is meant to be a lightweight optional activity players can participate in to supplement endgame reputation and gain a bit of more, or basically gold in general, with very modest daily investment of time, as well as give us a reason to recreate some of the epic battles that we all remember, so we'll, basically inside Blackrock Mountain as if we needed a reason. However, that seems pretty interesting. I'm pretty curious to see how that's all going to go about. I'm also curious to see, one of my concerns with it is how much, XP are we to get from the event in general, because as we're leveling, I wonder if this is going to be a really good spot for the event itself, not the PvP side of things, outside of the Blackrock Mountain. How much XP are we going to generate, whether it's killing mobs or whatever we have to do for the Thorium Brotherhood and the Hydraxian Warlord rep, while we're farming that stuff up, killing mobs, doing quests, etc. to get that stuff done. Because we all remember what happened, with a new event with Nightmare Incursions. Let's not forget, people, day one, a lot of people, for the first couple days, people made a lot of freaking gold. There was either a bug and something that was a mess up on their end. No surprise to Blizzard, things happen, right? However, though, people leveled up really fast, and it was really insane. So I'm expecting something to happen the first couple days of the event, guys. So my word of advice to anybody playing Season of Discovery: play the event, because you never know what might happen in terms of gold, XP, etc., whatever exploit that might happen, and they have to fix it. But just be a part of the event and don't miss out. That's my opinion. But, however, let's get back to the video. General PTR adjustments, template characters. All class template characters have been updated to the account for the changes below. Class templates have also been updated to access to all available flight paths. Thank you very much. Several classes were missing weapon skills or access to weapons themselves. This has been corrected. You'll need to recreate characters to pick up these fixes. Thank you, because I was asking for this with my friends too, and I was like, dude, I don't understand why we don't have weapon skill. Like, I had to train pole arms to 305. It was insane. So like, thank you so much. Vendors, which, don't get me wrong, it's not that it's insane, but you know, it's a PTR. Just add these things so we can just test it. You know, we already did this in, you know, the other regular version of the game. Vendors have been updated with a few additional consumables. Cool. Vendors also been updated to add any skill books that were added since the previous round of PTR. Newly created template characters will already have these learned. Okay. Test work. Base damage increased by 50%, hateful strike damage increased by 75%, and health has been doubled. Okay. Developer notes on tanks. We made adjustments to allow each tank's primary AoE ability to hit a larger number of targets, in most cases 10 or more. Going to Season Discovery, we hope to maintain some of the rewarding gameplay and challenging that tanks face in the original WoW, and keep AoE threat a bit lower relative to new versions of WoW. But as time has gone by, our perspective on this has changed of sod, and as damage dealing classes have gained more AoE tools and damage in general, as a result we decided to open up each tank class's AoE capabilities a bit more. Many groups may find that large pools in sod with the higher damage that creatures deal, particularly at or near level 60, to be quite deadly. So a good strategy and plan for CC is still recommended in most dungeons. Thank you for all your feedback on this so far. So, no surprise, right now in the PTR, before this, the changes happened, so the first version of the PTR, this is the second version now, Druids were fucking eaten. And it seems like right now, just from looking at my eyes in front of me, Druids are going to be eaten anymore. At this point, it might be called Season of Druids, and we might have to reroll, boys. Settle down, get your bears ready. However, Druids. The Fury Storm Rage rune now states that it allows the use of Wrath on Tree Lifeform. Nourish now benefits from improved regrowth talent and benefits the effects that interact with regrowth. Fix the bug enabling efflorescence ticks from being able to critically hit. Alun's Fire now extends the duration of Moonfire, Sunfire, and up to its initial duration, but there's no longer a limit on the number of refreshes per ability. Moonkin form now provides the Druid with 2 spell power per Druid's character level, and allow Insect Swarm, Moonfire, and Sunfire's damage over time to critically hit. Dream State Tooltip updated to reflect that it only triggers from non-periodic critical strikes, to basically just an improved visual of the tooltip. And Improved Swipe now increases the maximum target of swipe from the bear to 10 targets, which they were mentioning in their notes up here. Dude, I have a strong feeling just how they're going about this. A second change in the PTR. Druids are going to be high S tier. Really good class. I think they're eating the most so far out of the entire PTR, and they're only getting more and more love. And honestly, I'm happy to see Druids eat. We'll see how that reflects in PvP, but in PvE in general, I think Druids are going to be fucking eaten, guys. It's going to be a scary world out there, but much love to them. Hunter. This looks a little disappointing, I'm not going to lie. The Heart of the Lion aura no longer cancels itself after a few seconds of being active. Fixed an issue with the stables preventing hunter pets from being able to be stabled or summoned on the PTR. Those changes are relatively pretty minuscule, I'm not gonna lie. I think hunters are really upset right now with the first version of the PTR and how they are kind of right now at the bottom of the barrel. I think some more love for the hunters needs to be looked at, because it's really hard to, like, I think for Blizzard to find the perfect sweet spot for hunters, because obviously, they're the only pure organic, damage class in the game. They're strictly damage, so I think honestly hunters offer a lot of great utility and support to like a raid team or even PvP in general, but they have to find that sweet spot for hunters, because I think they are deserving of a top DPS spec in the game. I just think they need to find the situation to be a little bit more clear for them, in my personal opinion. So mages. Hot Streak rune has been moved to the helm slot. Rewind time has been moved to the wrist slot. So mages haven't really got much love with this as well. I don't think that answers a lot of the mages' concerns from what I've heard with, like, having more mana or going really fast. But I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with mages in the future. For any mages out there, make some forum posts, and just like hunters, talk about things on the web, see what's going on, and at the developers for, changes you would love to see. Like I recommended those sod forums. It's really critical to, reach out. Priests. Vampiric Touch now gains properly additional benefits from the following talent. Seems like they got a lot of things here. Blackout, Shadow Infinity, Shadow Focus, Shadow Reach, Darkness, Martyrdom, Inner Focus. Pain and Suffering has been adjusted. Mind Blast and Mind Spike and Mind Flay refresh the duration of one of your Shadow World Pain, Void Plague, and Vampire Touch abilities on the target back to its maximum duration. The ability with the shortest remaining duration will always be the one refresh. Vampiric Touch now also applies Vampiric Embrace, including when it's refreshed by Pain and Suffering. The curse debuff cast by Eye for the Void no longer has a cooldown, and Mind Seer now also damages the primary target. It's very interesting to find where Shadow Priest in general, in my opinion, can find a spot within, Season of Discovery. There's always been this issue with Shadow Priest where, you balance the scales too much, they go way too high, and that's what happens with dot classes. Because if you balance dot classes really high up, you will see the damage relatively really fast. Like, their damage is very incredible when the scales are in favor of them. And at the moment, Shadow Priests really weren't eating at all, coming this last PTR. They were suffering just like the Hunters. I think Shadow Priests and Hunters were really suffering more than anything, besides just Mages. Mages were doing pretty damn good in terms of damage. There's just other things that Mages want to see as far as, utility. But overall, though, I genuinely think that Shadow Priests, they're going to try to find a sweet spot for this class. We'll see what happens with the PTR, what Shadow Priests say over there. But what I would recommend, guys, everybody, any class I mentioned here, let me know your thoughts below. Have you tested the PTR as well? And, leave the comments below about each individual spec. Obviously, I don't play every single class. You guys know me as, I do Paladin stuff. I do the Warlock stuff. But that's really about it. So we'll go on to Paladin stuff now. On to the Great Paladin and discuss what we have to discuss here. So, Divine Light has been moved to the Cloak rune slot. The additional damage shield from Divine Light Overhealing will now also apply Beacon of Light to targets. Fixed an issue causing Holy Shield to deal too much damage. Adjusted the tooltip of Hollow Ground to clarify that damage does not need to be dealt to enemies with Consecrate for Consecrate to heal allies. Let's see this one. Fixed an issue allow healing over time from the effect of Fanaticism from being able to crit. The Aegis rune now also allows the Paladin to gain 2% chance per talent point in the Reckoning talent. Whoa. That learn to trigger the Reckoning effect when receiving a melee arranged attack? Wait a minute. So, wait, does that mean it's a double wreck? Am I reading that right? Is that double Reckoning? So not only with, Natural Reckoning when you get crit, but you're also going to get 10% from melee arranged attack just from auto? Is that what that means? I gotta test this shit out. I haven't hopped on the PTR, by the way, guys, so this is new. This is new. Additional damage over time effect caused by critical strikes with the Righteous Vengeance rune has been increased to 50% of the damage inflicted by the Paladin ability that triggers it. Added a new spell has been added via spellbook. Divine Steed. Increase the Paladin's movement speed by 100% for 3 seconds. 45-second cooldown. What the fuck? Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't know who's listening to me over there on the Season of Discovery team. Settle down. You're probably watching the channel. Much love to you. I don't know what to say. Because I can already tell right now, Paladins are either loving it or flipping out. You're never going to please the masses. What I basically pushed for was simply seeing something with freedom, getting minuscule, move speed, nothing insane, or with a judge proc, and then seeing a little bit of move speed. I said in the past as well, it would be cool if we did see a version of Divine Steed, but you can't melee on the horse like you do in retail. It's just a movement ability. Now, it seems like that's what it is in this case. However, though, I will say this, because I know this can create, controversy, and people will be upset about this. But if people don't like it, and we're testing it in Season of Discovery, remove the ability. Chalk the ability. Let's come up with a better idea for movement speed. Or, at the end of the day, we don't come with movement speed at all. It is what it is. Either way, I just want to play the game, right? However, though, I think it's crazy that they added this. Now, some people might say, well, now they're just adding more retail stuff and they're not doing anything original. And I 100% agree with you on that. At the end of the day, this is Season of Discovery. This is not Season of Retail, nor is this Season of Vanilla. This is Season of Discovery. We have to see new and improved and, innovative ways of testing things out, trying new things, and seeing what works. And that's what I live by in Season of Discovery, those 3 principles, because that's what I want to see, is new, cooler ways to go about of doing things we've never seen before, different from retail, different from vanilla, but inside, that's what it's all about. A lot of, like even and I'm not gonna, shout them out, but any names, but I know some private servers where they test out things, with a lot of classes and change things that we've never seen before. So if they can do it, I know the SOD team's capable of it as well. Do I think Divine Steed is a little bit of a crazy alternative? Yes, 45-second cooldown, and now with a double, Reckoning, this could be really nuts. I'm not going to lie to you. But we have to see what happens. We got to test these things out. And by our testing, if everything is, cool, then leave it in. But if it's not cool and the majority don't like it, take it out. It is what it is. And we move on from there. No big deal. This is what the testing's all about. Rogue. Fixed an issue preventing more than one rogue's application of deadly or occult poison from being present or target. Fixed an issue with Phantom Knives to generate energy from focus attacks with offhand critical strikes. The attack power bonus has been granted from the defense skill effect, has been removed or moved from rolling with the punches to blade dance. Resolved the bug, causing the bonus energy from Relentless Strike to have a chance to proc once per target hit with Crimson Tempest rather than once per spell cast of Crimson Tempest. Poison Knife now refunds 5 energy per number of stacks of deadly or occult poison on the target. Shuriken Toss now grants 1 combo per point per enemy hit, and a 30-second cooldown has been added. And now Saber Slash now stacks 3 times instead of 5, granting 33% damage increase per stack, up from 20%, so a 13% increase. Developer note: we had an issue in the previous PTR build that Saber Slash changes that came from via the hotfix 1.15.2 Phase 3 were missing. This adjustment re-implements those changes from 1.15.4 Phase 4 and improves the usability of Saber Slash as a further adjustment. Interesting. So for my rogues down there, much love to you, amigos at the Rogue, Brotherhood. What do you guys think about these changes? How are you feeling so far, even in version 1 of the PTR? I've seen a lot of rogues. It seems like they're also giving them a lot, just in general tank support too. So I'm really curious on how much, viability they're going to have, in raid. I know they're going to be pumping damage as natural, but I wonder if they're going to have a spot, my curiosity, as a main tank of a Molten Core raid. I want to see how good they are and how they're going to be. I know they gave him Blunderbuss as well, and I did hear that Blunderbuss got a little bit hit today with the small nerf, according to some of the data mines, but I didn't want to go over the data mines in this video. I just want to go over just the straight, patch changes of what's going on here. Overall, though, I'm very curious to see the Rogue's future, especially the tank Rogue as well. I think they might be a really good off-tank from what I'm getting at, but overall, we'll see what happens. So, to the Shamans! Oh, yes! My brother Shamans, hello, how you doing? Settle down over there. Us Paladins and Shamans have been at war for a good time, but let us drink and have some ale today. Settle down. So, while using the Shield Mastery rune, the attack power bonus granted from the defense skill is now triggered by the use of Flame Shot. The attack speed bonus granted by two-hand weapon specialization rune after landing a melee attack on an enemy with two-handed weapon has been increased to 50%. Maelstrom weapon has now significantly higher chance to proc with a two-handed weapons equipped. Molten Blast can now hit up to 10 targets. Might as well just say Molten Core Blast. They be hitting those LE Shamans. And the maximum rank of all weapon abuse now has a 1-hour duration. Overall, though, seems interesting. I'm really curious about more of the two-handed weapon part for Shamans, because I actually want to see a lot more support for two-handed hands. I know, the Comeback Kids and Sky over there, they definitely want to see that, so much love to them. So we got to see what's going on and, go from there to see what they do for two-handed hands more than anything, to see if they're going to have some type of support in the future of SOD. But overall, though, let's keep going. Warlock. The Felguard has gained Demonic Frenzy ability, causing the Felguard's melee attack to grant 5% additional attack power for 10 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. So from hearing that out, that just sounds like that. Until that gets to 10 stacks, that thing ain't dropping, and it's going to get a fuck ton of attack power. So 50% is where I'm getting at here. That sounds a little nuts. We'll see what happens overall, because that's going to stack up to 10 times, right? So I'm very curious about that. Soul Siphon now grants Drain Soul up to 3% increased damage when the targets are below 20% or health, so I'm assuming a Warlock's Execute now. So that might be good. We'll see what happens, though. Maybe it might be a good time trying out Deep Affliction, but who knows at the end of the day. I still think there's things that need to be done for the Warlock to have more, dots applied to the target, but at the same time, this goes with the Shadow Priest, discussion. How do you balance the scales where it doesn't make it too crazy? I think there's a lot of great forum posts on, the SOD forums that talk about with the PTR and how to help Warlocks out for Affliction. Lake of Fire has been redesigned and now causes Rain of Fire to be insta-cast with no channeling time, and now has an 8-second cooldown. Backdraft now increases casting speed from 15 seconds up from 10. Shadow Cleave can now hit to 10 targets, so Warlock looks like they might actually be doing some Warlock tank support. This actually right here, I like the way this sounds because this makes it sound like Warlock tanks might still be viable in Molten Court if they actually change and adjust things. So maybe the future is not looking too bad or grim for Season Discovery for meta Warlocks. And Mark of Chaos has been redesigned. Now causes Curse and Agony, Curse of Doom to apply the Mark of Chaos to the target for their duration, reducing the target's resistance up to 75 and increasing the target's spell damage taken up to 10%. Very interesting. I'm going to have to try this out myself for Mark of Chaos. I would love to do just like a pure, like just straight up Affliction PvP build or PvE and see what this does. I might even try it with test work and, make some assessments and, go from there and judge how it works out. Because we got to test a lot of things today. We got to test Warlock and Paladin and try test work, and then we got to try PvP as well and try the dummy stuff. So we're going to be trying some stuff. For my warriors, hello Warrior Brotherhood. Shield Slam now gains 15% of the AP as additional damage. Single-Minded Fury has been adjusted. Now grants a single-minded buff that stacks up to 5 times, granting 2% attack speed. While you continue attacking the same target with auto attacks, the movement speed effect has reduced back to 10% as the threat reduction component was removed. The threat reduction from Single-Minded Fury has been removed, an additional effect that has been added to Gladiator Stance to increase rage generation when attacking a target that is not actively attacking the warrior. Thunderclap now can hit up to 10 targets, so it looks like a lot of the AoE abilities that these classes naturally have are just hitting more targets. The ability has been added via spellbook. Valor of Azeroth. What is this? So Valor Azeroth grants up all party and raid members 1.5 times the warrior's level and attack power, melee and ranged, and a 5% critical chance to all spells and attacks. This is not cumulative with Rallying Cry of the Dragon Slayer. So wait, is this like a built-in world buff for warriors as a natural ability? What? That's kind of nuts. Wait, huh? Developers know, we are trying a rather radical new change to essentially allow warriors to provide themselves and raid members with a Dragon Slayer light. In case they or other raid members don't have or have unfortunately lost their world buffs, warriors in particular gain a massive amount of power from world buffs, and the class can feel a lot less satisfying without them. So while this won't raise a warrior's overall maximum throughput, it should help bring the floor up in situations where these warriors have to go without world buffs. This is an experimental change to the PTR. We may remove or iterate on this change before Phase 4 releases. We're hoping this provides some interesting raid utility for warriors should wipes or death occurs, allowing them and their party/raid members to get a portion of the power that they gain from the world buffs after losing them. So basically, it's like, if you lost your world buffs, you got griefed, so to say, you're getting a version of something of Dragon Slayer from the warrior that carries on. Huh, that is kind of interesting. Now, I don't know if it's going to answer the issues with Warriors and what they were facing, because Warriors were also sharing the same situation with Hunters and Shadow Priests with the first version of the PTR. They were suffering. I wonder how their rage generation is going to come now, and see how they go about doing a lot more damage in this current version of the PTR. I'm very curious to see what happens. However, though, guys, I think this is all crazy as we scroll up. We go through everything. This is insane. A lot of stuff has happened. I'm happy they didn't release this yesterday because, Elden Ring was out. You're definitely not going to do anything when Elden Ring DLC comes out. And talking about that real quick, that son of a bitch was hard as shit. It ain't easy. So if you want to check me out over there, twitch.tv, hello JTello. We stream usually Wednesday, Saturday, Sundays. We streamed yesterday though because of Elden Ring, so we had to switch the day. I might go live tonight. We'll see how I'm feeling. I'm a little drained from last night. I did a 10-hour stream consistently, but overall, we'll see what happens. Much love to you. Locking in as always, and I appreciate you guys no matter what. Keep on keeping on. Let me know your comments below, what you think about everything, and we'll go from there. Shine on, amigos. Much love to you. Locking in, and I'll see y'all on the next one. His name is Jawa. He's a Jawa. I just would elbow to you, son.